Well, hello, pre-calculus students, general seekers of truth. In this video, we will discuss increasing and decreasing, and these concepts are relatively intuitive. So let's look at the definition. A function is increasing on an interval AB if any 2 points on the graph of f of x has positive slope. So increasing just means positive slope. And we say we have to specify this interval AB just because a function could be increasing in certain intervals and decreasing in other intervals. So let's look at this graph down here. I'm going to name this graph f of x. And you can see from this graph that between negative infinity all the way to -2. This is about -2. It's -2.06. So this is the interval, negative infinity to -2.06. This graph has a positive slope. Right? Any 2 points that you pick on this interval here, you can pick a point here, you can pick a point here, and this entire stretch here, any 2 points that you pick will produce a positive slope. As the x gets bigger, the y values also gets bigger. So we can say that f of x is increasing. F of x is increasing on the following intervals. From negative infinity to -0.26. Negative 2.06. I'm going to put a square bracket here on -2.06 because we can touch that part. We can never actually touch negative infinity, so that's an open interval there. And in other parts here, it is also increasing. So you can also see that between this point here, between x equals 0 and x equals 2.03, f of x is also increasing. The slope here is positive for any 2 points along this blue line. Any 2 points along this blue line, the slope is positive. So we can say in union with from 0 to 2.03. And then there's one more spot, right, from down here when x is equal to 4.9 all the way out here to positive infinity. Any values of x here. So from x equals to 4.09 to positive infinity. And when I'm putting down these intervals of increasing and decreasing, I'm only talking about x values. When we say the interval AB, we're talking about input. So what input will cause the function to have a positive slope? Any input between negative infinity down here all the way up to -2.06 will cause the function to have positive slope. Any input between positive 4.9 and positive infinity will cause the function to have positive slope. Any input between 0 and 2.03 will cause the function to have positive slope. So a very similar concept is decreasing. A function is decreasing on an interval AB if any 2 points on the graph of x has a negative slope. So you can see here from -2.06 to 0, the function f of x is decreasing. Everywhere along here, any 2 points that you pick and you draw a line between them, you're going to see a negative slope. So we can say that f of x is decreasing on -2.06 to 0 in union with 2.03, so also this part right here. Any 2 points you pick along this red part of the curve, so you pick this point, you draw a line between them, that line is going to have a negative slope. You pick a point here, you draw another line between them, that line is going to have a negative slope. So this is in union with 2.03, and again, we're looking at only the inputs here to 4.9. doing this, I realized I made a mistake up here. It's not 4.09, it's just 4.9. So let us correct that. Now, something that bothers people a little bit from time to time is that if you look at this, negative 2.06 is part of the increasing interval, and it's also part of the decreasing interval, but that's okay. A single point can be a part of an increasing interval and a decreasing interval. The reason that it can be is if you look at negative 2.06, right at that point, the slope actually levels off, right? If you look at the right here, the graph levels off at 0. So if the graph levels off like this at a minimum or at a maximum, it can be a part of a decreasing interval and an increasing interval. That's perfectly okay. That doesn't actually violate any of the definitions that we talked about here. All right. As always, ask for help if you need it. Thank you for watching and have